no justice,
no peace,
no racists.
no peace.
I want us to say it loud because the person who's occupying that office over there, that mansion, also needs to hear what we're saying. So no justice,
No peace,
no justice,
no peace,
no racists,
no peace,
no racists.
police,
Defund the,
police,
defund the.
police.
Sisters and brothers, family, my name is Gabriel Acevero and I'm proud to represent District 39. And I'm also proud to stand with you all in this fight for justice, for accountability, and for a transformation in the way that we do public safety in this country. What we know is that the system of policing in America is rooted in white supremacy. So the systems that we see today are a manifestation of the white supremacist foundation that came out of slave patrols. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? And what that means is that each and every one of us will have to demand that things change because power concedes nothing, and I mean nothing, without a demand. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Sisters and brothers, family, are you all here to make a demand, not just for justice, not just for accountability, but to make sure that we make the families and the victims of police violence whole? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? We are here to discuss a number of legislation. We all know what the Senate did with the police reform package. And while they've watered down and gutted certain pieces of legislation, I want to point out one in particular that each and every one of us should be paying attention to, and that is Anton's Law. Say Anton's Law.
Anton's Law.
And it is named after Anton Black, a 19-year-old college athlete that was killed by police on the Eastern Shore. A young man who would be alive today with his daughter and finishing his education if it were not for an abusive cop and a corrupt police chief who decided to withhold the abusive record of someone who didn't deserve to be a law enforcement official at all. And so this young man is not here today because, per usual, we don't listen to impacted communities. Because if we did, we wouldn't be hearing from mothers who've been struggling for 28 years to get justice for their children. 28 years. 28 years to get justice for their children. That's not democracy. That's not how government works. But it comes as no surprise because we know that government has never worked for black, brown, indigenous, LGBTQ+, people with disabilities, and those exist on the margin. Am I right? Am I right? So that means that we need to bend government to our will. I will say that again. It means that we must bend government to our will. We cannot build trust between law enforcement and the broader communities that they serve if we do not have accountability. And we cannot have accountability without transparency, and that is what Anton's Law is about. It is about transparency. You see, you can hold us accountable for watering down bills and our positions on bills because you know what we're doing. But we don't know what law enforcement agencies are doing in our communities, and as a result, we can't hold them accountable. As a result, we don't have trust. And as a result, this racist system of policing continues to perpetuate, and the only people who are impacted are people that look like me. But that changed today. It changes today because we're not just going to get Anton's Law passed on the House side. We're going to repeal the Law Enforcement Officers' Bill of Rights. We're going to pass a strong use of force. We're going to ensure independent prosecutions. We're going to ensure community oversight of police and sheriffs and every single law enforcement entity that patrols our streets. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? For far too long, we have asked victims and their families to trek to Annapolis to share their trauma. To share their trauma. And we engage in pandering and performative wokeness. I will say that again, we engage in pandering and performative wokeness when we listen to these victims and families and we pass cosmetic legislation. stands today.
Yes!
Because sisters and brothers, we don't just intend on holding people accountable. We will change the very people who refuse to change the laws that continue to brutalize us. Am I right? Am I right? So we are here to stand in solidarity with the family. We're here to stand in solidarity with every victim of police violence alive and dead, because we're here today because they cannot be. And so we have a responsibility to them and to the families to shake the very foundation of these buildings until we get what we want. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Let's focus on the house. Let's get things passed, and let's embrace the family and ensure that after today, families don't have to come back to Annapolis and share their trauma about something that we already know, that this whole damn system is racist and corrupt. And the only way we change it is not just by making demands, but changing the people in power who refuse to listen to us.